You think they already figured you out. You feel it in the way they look past you, not at you. The way their voices soften when they speak to you, as if explaining something simple to a child. They've given you a role without asking, stamped you with a label that feels small and convenient. The quiet one, the slow one, the harmless one, and you accepted it. Not because it was true, but because it was useful. You let your shoulders drop. You kept your words short. You played along while they relaxed, convinced the story was finished before it even began. They mistook your silence for emptiness, and that mistake cost them more than they know. They thought restraint meant fear, that calm meant surrender. They leaned back, confident, careless, already enjoying a victory they never earned. They spoke freely around you. They planned openly. They laughed easily. And you watched, not with bitterness, not with envy, with focus, with intention. Because pretending to be unaware gives you something priceless. Time. Time to listen. Time to study. Time to understand how people move when they believe no one is watching them closely. And while they celebrated too early, you were collecting details they didn't even realize they were giving away. Here's the part no one warns them about. Power doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't always rush forward demanding attention. Sometimes it sits still. Sometimes it observes. Sometimes it waits patiently while louder voices burn themselves out. You learn that reacting hands control to others. Explaining makes them comfortable. So you stopped reacting. You stopped explaining. You let them feel safe in their assumptions, because assumptions create blind spots. People defend themselves from threats they respect. They never defend themselves from someone they've dismissed. That's not weakness, that's positioning. And positioning decides outcomes long before anyone notices what's happening. No. Every smirk became information. Every careless joke turned into insight. Every moment they thought you didn't matter made them less cautious. You stayed steady while their confidence grew loud and sloppy. You stayed composed while they exposed habits, patterns, and fragile egos. On the surface, nothing changed. Inside, everything did. Because playing the fool only drains you if you forget the reason. You never forgot. You were never confused. You were preparing, waiting for the moment when comfort turns into carelessness. When masks slip, and when the truth finally shows itself without realizing it's being seen. And then comes the shift. Quiet, subtle, almost invisible. You straighten your posture. You raise your eyes. You speak with clarity instead of hesitation. Suddenly the room feels different. The laughter hesitates. The confidence flickers. Because now they have to rebuild the image they were so sure about. And rebuilding that image scares them. People don't like discovering they were wrong about someone they look down on. They sense it immediately, that something they ignored is no longer hiding, that the version of you they laughed at was never the whole picture. It was a choice, a layer, a distraction. And now the real card slides onto the table without drama. Understand this clearly. You don't reveal your real card to impress anyone. You reveal it to collapse illusions, to reclaim space that was never meant to be taken from you. You reveal it to remind the room that intelligence doesn't need permission to exist. It doesn't beg for validation. It waits until timing aligns with intention. You didn't make it this far by being loud. You made it by being deliberate. By letting others believe comfort was permanent, by letting them believe you were predictable. And when you finally move, it won't be chaotic. It will be clean, direct, unavoidable. That's why there will be no arguments, no jokes, no dismissive smiles, only silence. Because certainty has weight. No, no, no. So if you're watching this and you've been underestimated, misread, or quietly dismissed, listen carefully. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not lost. You are positioned exactly where pressure turns into control, where patience becomes an advantage. They think the story is about how they outplayed you. They think the ending is already written. But the truth is simple. You let them believe you were holding nothing. You let them relax into that belief. And when the moment comes, you won't explain yourself. You'll just play your real card, and the room will understand everything at once. Now look around. Every eye is on you, but not with respect yet. They're scanning, calculating, searching for a flaw. How predictable. They don't see it coming because they never looked for it. They were busy underestimating you. That was their mistake. You've spent your life in the shadows, and shadows are deceiving. They make you think. Nothing can grow there. But growth doesn't announce itself. It just does. Quietly, relentlessly. And now, the moment arrives. The one that turns whispers into tension, calm into anticipation. They feel it. They can't place it. But it's there, thick in the air. And it's yours. Every move you make now has meaning. Every word, every glance, every pause. This is not the time for acting dumb. This is the time for precision. The beauty of timing. You've trained them to see weakness, and now weakness becomes a weapon. When you reveal your real card, it won't just surprise them, it will undo them. Their confidence collapses like a house of cards, and you are standing untouched, watching the chaos unfold with a smile no one else can read. That's the power of patience. That's the power of strategy. That's the quiet storm they never notice brewing right beneath their noses. They might try to challenge you. They might raise their voices. They might even try to laugh you off. But remember this, their reactions are predictable. You have studied them. You know their patterns. You know the points where their ego falters, where their assumptions break, where panic slips in. And when that happens, you don't hesitate. You act. You strike with clarity and intent. You don't let emotions dictate your movements. Emotions are theirs. Strategy is yours. Control is not given. It's taken. And you are ready. It's tempting to think the moment ends with revelation, but it doesn't. The real power is in what comes after, in how you move when the room finally understands the truth, in how they adjust, stumble, scramble to rewrite what they thought they knew. That's when your advantage multiplies. You are not reacting. You are shaping reality around you. Every step they take now plays into your design. Every pause you take becomes a statement. Every smile, a mask of calm, while your influence spreads unseen. The greatest victories are the ones no one even saw coming. So if you've been underestimated, misread, or written off, this is your reminder. It is not too late. The shadows you've worked in, the silence you've maintained, the patience you've cultivated, all of it was preparation. The moment of revelation is not just a moment, it's the turning point. And when you play your real card, it will not be chaos. It will be clarity. It will not be a shout. It will be undeniable. Your move is imminent. And the room, once full of assumptions, will finally see what they ignored. The dumb act is over. The real game has begun. Now it's time. The moment you've been waiting for. The moment they thought would never come. You've been quiet, patient, unseen, but not inactive. Every move, every word, every silence led to this. And now you act. Slowly at first. Deliberately. Not for them. Not for approval, but for the undeniable truth that you were never what they thought. Your first move is subtle. A glance, a shift, a pause in the conversation that wasn't noticed at first, but now it's noticed. Eyes flicker, confusion, unease. That's when the power hits. Every person in the room suddenly realizes they misread you. They see the calculation behind the calm, the preparation behind the restraint, the confidence behind the quiet. They thought it was weakness, but it was precision all along. Then you escalate. A word, a statement, a demonstration of knowledge, skill, or insight that lands like lightning in a clear sky. They stumble. They blink. Their smugness fractures. The room feels smaller, heavier, as if the air itself obeys your presence. This is the moment where control is claimed, not begged for. Every doubt you planted earlier blooms into chaos for them. And you remain untouchable in that stillness. Not arrogance, not malice. Just inevitability. Now the final layer. You don't just surprise them, you redefine the game. Every assumption they held, every judgment they made, every smirk they wore, they're all exposed as errors. And your real card isn't just a move, it's a revelation. The room can no longer measure you by the mask they saw. They can only respond to the truth you've unveiled. That truth is clear, unapologetic, undeniable. The table is yours. And here's the secret they'll never understand. Winning wasn't the point. The point was to reveal what patience, strategy, and self-awareness can do when wielded with intent. To show that being underestimated isn't failure, it's preparation. That playing the fool isn't weakness, it's leverage. That your real power wasn't hidden. It was simply waiting for the perfect moment to speak. And now it has. So stand tall, speak clearly, move decisively, and let the world feel the weight of someone who has always been steps ahead, unseen, underestimated, and unchallenged, until the moment came to play the real card. This is your game, this is your victory, and now they finally understand. Now that the card has been played, the room has shifted, and so have you. Feel it. The tension doesn't disappear, it transforms. It turns into clarity, into momentum, into understanding that every step you've taken has been intentional. They thought they controlled the story. They thought they understood the rules, but the rules were yours all along. And now they're left scrambling to keep up while you move freely, purposefully, without a single misstep. Look at yourself. Not the version they laughed at. Not the version they misread. The real version. The one they never expected to see. Every doubt you faced, every subtle insult, every quiet dismissal, it all led here. It all built the foundation for this revelation. They can't take that away from you. Not ever. And they can't undo the patience that allowed you to see the room, the game, and yourself clearly. That patience, that restraint, that careful observation, it's your weapon, your armor, and now your triumph. And here's the truth. Most people never get this far. They rush. They react. They reveal everything before they understand the stakes. But you stayed calm. You stayed silent. You stayed dumb in their eyes. You let them make mistakes while you collected every advantage. And now the advantage is undeniable. The moment you reveal yourself is more than a moment. It's a statement. A declaration that strategy, patience, and self-knowledge always win when applied with intent. No. So what do you do next? You don't stop. You don't hesitate. You move forward. But now with full awareness of your own power. Every decision becomes sharper. Every interaction becomes deliberate. You no longer play for their perception. You play for the outcome. The outcome that you've already been building toward all along. And the beauty is, they will never predict your next move because they've already underestimated you once, and people never learn until it's too late. Remember this. Life doesn't reward the loud. It doesn't reward the obvious. It rewards the prepared, the patient, the ones willing to be misunderstood while building their strength. And you, the one they doubted, the one they ignored, the one they laughed at, you are the proof that sometimes the greatest victories come not from force, but from waiting, not from noise, but from strategy. Not from showing your hand early, but from keeping it close until the moment is perfect. Now, step into your own game. Play your real card. And never let anyone forget what happens when patience, intelligence, and timing collide. You've waited. You've watched. You've learned. And now, you've won. Now the smoke is cleared. The game has shifted. And the room, once full of assumptions, now feels different. Heavier, quieter. Every gaze is measured, every voice tentative. They thought they had control. They thought they understood you. But control is an illusion when patience and strategy move in silence. And you've proven it. You've shown that being underestimated isn't a weakness, it's a weapon. Look closely at yourself, not the version they dismissed, not the version they laughed at, the real version. Stronger, sharper, clearer. Every moment you spent waiting, observing, calculating, it was all preparation for this revelation. That preparation is invisible to them, but to you it is everything. It gave you the edge. It gave you the power to change the game, to claim what others assumed they already owned. And here's the truth. Life will always underestimate you if you let it. People will laugh. People will mock. People will ignore the quiet ones, the patient ones, the strategic ones. But that's their mistake. Because quiet observation builds clarity. Patience builds advantage. Strategy builds power. And when the time comes to reveal your real card, the world has no choice but to take notice. This is not revenge. This is inevitable. So what do you do after victory? You don't gloat. You don't need to prove yourself again. You move forward with purpose, with the calm confidence of someone who knows their own worth. You've learned that power is not always loud. Sometimes it waits. Sometimes it watches. Sometimes it bides its time. And when the perfect moment arrives, it speaks, loud enough to be undeniable, silent enough to be calculated. Remember this. Every underestimated person has a real card. Every quiet observer has a moment to strike. Every patient soul has a power hidden behind the mask of dung. And now, it's yours. Play it. Show the world what happens when preparation, patience, and strategy collide. Not with chaos, not with anger, but with precision, control, and inevitability.